Welcome back to Wake Up Alabama Weekend. Your time right now is 6:14, and today with us is Ryan Lutz from Corey Watson Attorneys. We're breaking down a lot of cases today, and you probably will take a lot of interest in it. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Okay, we're going to start off with Joyce Gerard. That case, and she was sentenced to life without parole earlier this week for running her granddaughter to death as punishment. And in this case, the prosecution and the defense both asked for life and not the death penalty. But is this unusual for both sides to ask for the same sentence? What are your thoughts on this?
It's not unusual in the setting of a criminal case because typically you have plea bargains, and plea bargains are where the sides compromise, and so they do reach an agreement on sentencing and things of that nature.
I know that that the mother of the child will go on trial pretty soon as well. Do you feel like that it will take the same course? I know that there's a lot of different aspects to the case that we haven't even, we don't even know about in the media. But how do you feel like that's going to go in the near future?
Well, it's important to understand that the jury will hear the facts and the judge will receive the jury's recommendation, and so it depends on how the case goes.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, some state law, switching gears for a second, some state legislators are wanting to make a compact with Poarch Creek Indians for some gambling proceeds to go to the general fund budget. However, Attorney General Luther Strange has filed suit against the Poarch Creek Indians. So, if this gambling bill passes in the legislature, do you think that Strange will drop the lawsuit?
Well, it's important to understand that Strange's lawsuit has already been dismissed by the federal court judge.
Okay.
It is now on appeal. So him dropping the lawsuit, if the legislation is passed, is likely, because it is likely that the lawsuit will be moot as a result of the passed legislation.
And for those who don't know what that means, explain that a little bit.
Moot means that since the legislation has been passed, the legislatures have decided that they are going to allow that type of gambling, therefore the lawsuit would not have any merit.
Okay. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that it would supplement the general fund budget? Do you think that's coming? Is that the answer?
I do. I think it's, the state of Alabama needs money, and the casinos are making money, and the state should receive taxes from it. Interesting.
Okay. Now from the sports world. Tom Brady suspended for 4 games this season for the deflating footballs incident, we all know about and love to hear about. We hear Brady has one of the best legal teams that money can buy. Now, if you were representing Brady, what would your defense be, and would you compromise with the NFL?
You're going to have to compromise with the NFL. Tom Brady is not going to have like normal people would. He's not going to be in front of a judge or a jury. He's going to have to go through arbitration, and that arbitration, the commissioner, Goodell, would be in charge of handing down the sentence. So it's a little bit different than what the normal people would have to encounter. And I think that if I were representing Tom Brady, I would have my defense would be the punishment doesn't fit the crime, because as of this point, they're suspending him for 4 games, which amounts to about $2 million of his pay, which is a quarter of his pay and a quarter of the year. So I would say that if you look at other punishments around the league, this is not fair.
Okay, I was about to ask you, do you think that's reasonable? So not fair, that's what
Not fair.
Interesting. Okay, what would you do?
What would I do for?
In defense.
Well, I would put together a very good argument showing that, for example, Ray Rice, I know a lot of people know about Ray Rice in the domestic abuse case. He got 2-game suspension. And I would compare other suspensions to what the league is trying to do right now, such that you could show that it is an unfair suspension.
I gotcha. Okay. Well, Ryan Lutz, thank you so much for being here with us today. We appreciate your time, and and your wise comments too. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.